You become what you fight for. There comes a moment in every life when silence becomes suffocating. When playing it safe feels like dying slowly. When looking in the mirror and seeing potential unfulfilled becomes unbearable. And in that moment, you have two options. Fight or fade. Because make no mistake, you are in a fight. Whether you choose to admit it or not. A fight for your future. A fight for your identity. A fight for your voice, your purpose, your becoming. But most people don't even realize it. They've been lulled to sleep by comfort. Distracted by convenience. Trained to believe that ease is the goal and struggle is failure. They've forgotten the truth that built empires and shaped destinies. You become what you fight for. And if you're not fighting for anything, you're becoming nothing. Look around. Every breakthrough, every empire, every innovation was born in resistance. Edison fought the darkness so we could have light. Lincoln fought division so a nation could be whole. Disney fought rejection, failure, bankruptcy so the world could dream bigger. Rosa Parks fought a seat on a bus and sparked a fire that changed the course of civil rights. They weren't chasing approval. They weren't coasting on talent. They were fighting. Fighting for something bigger than themselves. And that fight transformed them. Because the fire doesn't just change your surroundings. It forges you. It burns off the laziness. It vaporizes the excuses. It strips away the shallow layers until all that's left is something real. Something powerful. Something that can no longer be ignored. You want success? You want freedom? You want to build a life that makes your soul catch fire every time you wake up? Then understand this. You don't get what you want, you get what you fight for. And that begins in the mind. Before the world changes, you must change. Before the dream shows up, you must show up. Everything begins in the battlefield of your thinking. Because if your mindset is weak, your results will be too. If your thoughts are undisciplined, your actions will be scattered. If your identity is unclear, your life will reflect it in chaos. But when your mind locks onto a mission, when your self-talk becomes a declaration, not a question, when you look in the mirror and say, I'm not here to compete. I'm here to conquer. That's when everything starts to shift. The mind is the gatekeeper. It's the thermostat of your life. It doesn't just respond to conditions, it sets them. And the most dangerous lie you can ever believe is that your current reality is permanent. It's not. It's only a reflection of what you've accepted and what you've refused to fight for. You see, people want change, but they don't want conflict. They want growth, but they fear the grind. They pray for purpose, but run from pressure. They don't understand. Pressure is the birthplace of power. Discomfort is where destiny begins. You don't build strength in the sunshine, you build it in the storm. It's the hard days, the lonely nights, the invisible seasons. That's where the real ones are made. That's where warriors are forged. Because when you're fighting for something that matters, the pain has meaning. The weight becomes fuel. The struggle becomes sacred. And the more intense the fire, the more unshakable the result. Part 2. The world will tell you to calm down. To settle. To be realistic. To stop dreaming so big. To stay in your lane and follow the blueprint that was never designed for you in the first place. But here's the truth. There is no blueprint for someone who's building something the world has never seen. And if you keep waiting for permission, you'll wait your whole life. Because no one's coming to crown you. You have to crown yourself. Clarity begins when you stop asking the world what you're worth. And start declaring it. You want to know why most people never see their vision come to life? It's not because they didn't dream hard enough. It's because they didn't commit. They kept one foot in the door of doubt. Kept a backup plan to soothe their fear. Kept listening to people who gave up on their own dreams years ago. But the truth is, you will never build the extraordinary with a halfway heart. You have to decide deep in your soul that there is no turning back. That this isn't a hobby. It's not a phase. It's a calling. When the vision grabs you, when it grabs you by the chest and refuses to let go, you stop negotiating with fear. You stop asking small questions like, what if it doesn't work? And you start asking, what if it does? What if the sacrifices pay off? What if the years of silence echo into something that moves millions? What if the version of you that you barely believe in right now is already waiting on the other side of your commitment? That's the power of vision. It doesn't just pull you forward. It transforms you along the way. You start walking different, thinking different, cutting off distractions like your life depends on it, because it does. You stop giving time to people who don't value growth. You stop explaining your mission to people who only understand mediocrity. You stop shrinking your dream to make others comfortable. You're not here to be liked. You're here to lead. You're not here to tiptoe through life and arrive safely at death. You're here to wake up every day with fire in your lungs and purpose in your hands. And that fire? It only grows when you feed it with discipline. Not motivation. Not inspiration. Discipline. Because motivation fades. Emotion fades. Hype fades. But discipline? That's the steel spine behind every legacy. It's showing up when you don't feel like it. It's doing the reps when no one's watching. It's building in silence while others post for attention. It's choosing your future over your feelings every single time. And don't get it twisted. Discipline isn't punishment. It's power. It's the difference between people who wish for a life and people who build one. The disciplined are dangerous because they've learned how to win the war within. They've trained themselves to move regardless of mood. They've stopped asking, how long will it take? And started asking, how far can I go? Because when you fight for something daily, you become someone daily. Someone stronger, wiser, sharper, hungrier, and eventually, unstoppable. Part 3. There's a reason most people feel empty. It's not because they lack time, talent, or tools. It's because they lack purpose. When you live without purpose, everything feels heavier. Every failure hits harder. Every obstacle feels like a reason to quit. Every Monday feels like a curse. But when you're connected to a purpose greater than your excuses, you become undeniable. Purpose doesn't make life easier. It makes it clearer. It gives your pain a reason. It gives your effort a voice. It turns struggle into strategy. It turns delay into development. That's why the greats didn't stop when it got hard. They were driven by something deeper than the struggle. Martin Luther King Jr. didn't march because it was comfortable. He marched because he had a cause that wouldn't let him sit still. Elon Musk didn't build rockets because it was easy. He built them because he had a vision that outlived fear.